This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Market Report and Small Account Update for the week ending July 13th, 2024. The market finished higher this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average increased 0.62% on Friday and was up 1.59% for the week. The S&P 500 increased 0.55% on Friday and was up 0.87% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 0.63% on Friday and was up 0.25% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 11 up finishes versus 4 down finishes for the major indexes. On Monday and Tuesday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq finished up. On Wednesday, all the major indexes finished up. On Thursday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq finished down. And on Friday, all the major indexes finished up again. How did you do? My small account finished 6.13% higher and generated cash flow of 0.67%. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. I use a watch list to determine which options of stocks that I want to sell. A stock has to meet 5 criteria to be on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row, however, is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. Looking at the watch list from the week, the strongest performer on the list was Lucid Group Incorporated, ticker symbol LCID in the first column. It was up 25% on Friday and increased 45.05% for the week. Lucid Group Incorporated designs, engineers, manufactures, and sells electric vehicles, EV powertrains, and battery systems. The company also designs and develops proprietary software for their vehicles. Lucid sells vehicles directly to customers through its retail sales network and direct online. They also provide Lucid financial services for their customers. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that Lucid has increased 0.95% year to date. I did not generate cash flow from Lucid this week. I generated cash flow from selling only one option contract. It was a call. So on Monday, I sold a call for $27.34. That's a total of $27.34, which is not a lot of money. The account is small. $27.34 in cash flow was 0.67% of my account value. With this system, the cash flow money is free and clear. You can take it out of your account and spend it, or leave it in to build your cash balance and or invest it. If you want to increase the amount of cash flow, just use a larger account. So, for example, to 10x the cash flow to $273.40, use a larger account, and instead of selling one of what I sold, sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately and every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week, nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. Despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500. Note, most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500 every year. They usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by almost 12%. But in 2024, my account is down minus 9.39% versus 17.82% up for SPY, an S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 27.21%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by over 27%. It is not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the next year. which is what I am currently doing so far in 2024 because I am still trailing SPY by a lot, though I did make a big dent this week. I am confident I will continue to gain on the SP 500 and beat it by year's end. What do you think? You think I'll keep gaining? Tune in next week to find out what happens. Bitcoin Watch. Bitcoin gained 2.53% this past week and is down 21.63% from its all time high. It is up almost 38% year to date. Some people believe that Bitcoin is the most transformative financial asset in 1,000 years. I think the best course of action is to dollar cost average, that is DCA, into the SP 500 and DCA into Bitcoin at a 30 to 70% ratio. Do that for the next 10 years and or up to when you have invested at least $10,000. In fact, I have implemented a similar strategy where I have a portfolio that is 91% in a Bitcoin ETF. So far, it is down minus 7.63% after 4 weeks. What do you think? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every week and beat the S&P 500? Do you invest in Bitcoin, which again may prove to be the smartest investment of the decade? As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how my small account and my Bitcoin dominant account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.